once we cover him, we have no more BTS. That's done. We've opened everything. All my BTS, I don't know if there's anything else that exists. The loyal subject stuff, the BTS stuff. No, sorry, I keep saying BTS. BST. I don't know why I always do that. I flip those. Dyslexic. I mean, I have a mild form of dyslexia that is caused, it aggravates when I'm tired or stressed. So you'll catch it from time to time, especially right now. I'm working 60 hours a week and whatnot. So sometimes my stuff gets a little backwards. But for some reason, I kept calling it that. I know this is BST, and I know that it's from the company Loyal Subjects. And yes, this is Dark Leonardo. This is, I think, the special edition one. And I found it at the Overstock toy store for $20. I don't know what this guy originally ran. I don't know if that's a good deal or if it's a bad deal. I think this might be a good deal. Because if I am not mistaken, this guy was somewhat exclusive. I think this guy is the black and white color scheme, so he's one of the special paints. And I also think that he comes with something inside that was fairly rare for him in general, like the limited edition collector's card thing it talks about, which I'm not going to care too much about that. But yes. But there he is. What do I know about this? Well, here's the thing. I like the IDW Ninja Turtles quite a bit. I have not read the new ones yet, but I was really enjoying the IDW Ninja Turtles. However, I read up to the point of a little bit, probably 15 episodes after the war. So I was at the point where the other turtle had come back in time. I stopped right at that storyline. Not because I necessarily wanted to, but I got into an overage and I could no longer get to the comic store and I had to cancel my books. And then it was looking like the company could go on strike, and that started making me worry about my money situation and whatnot. So I said, hey man, I got to cancel all my books. And so I did. And that was kind of part of what led me to going down a road where now I really haven't gotten back into comics. There was something about keeping up with it that was keeping it interesting. And then when I lost all that and it was gone, now I'm more interested in just reading the stories and not interested in owning a bunch of single issues. I don't want to go back to that grind. So I have 14 volumes of this, and I'm in the course of reading it again, and I will get back to this. If I'm not mistaken, this Dark Leo, is, in this storyline anyway, it's when he is brainwashed into joining the Foot Clan. I'm almost positive that's where it was going. I think that's what this was. I cannot say so for sure. I could be wrong about that. But when I seen him, and I recognized this dark turtle design. I recognize this dark turtle design from cartoons, in terms of the Archie comics, the Adventure comics, if I'm not mistaken. I remember this kind of design also in the 2013 Ninja Turtles when they fought the Shredder at basically the end of that series before it became Tales of TMNT. They also went into the Dark Turtle costumes. I know there is a What If universe thing or whatever of Dark Turtles, if I remember right. So, I know some of this for what it's worth. This says, straight from the pages of the TMNT IDW comics with custom artwork from Mateus. Oh my, that's a name. Santolucuo? I guarantee you I can't say that name. Not without hearing it first. Proudly presents. That didn't tell me anything. That just tells me who is the artist that they're using to base this off of. And I have trouble with his name like crazy. I've seen this name a couple of times, actually. And I can say his first name. I believe it's Mateus. I can't say that last name. I've never heard it, though. I've never heard it pronounced. So maybe I should go... If I can find an interview with him, I betcha. It doesn't say anything. I wonder if I open it up, will there be some information? I'm pretty sure I'm right. I'm pretty sure this is when he is brainwashed into joining the Foot. Either way, it is very cool, and it will fit that really cool color scheme of the Sin City Turtles that I opened up there that are all in black and white. And that's one of the reasons I wanted this one in particular, was because I thought that he would go very well with them. Let's open him. I wonder if I had the mic off for any of that. I wonder if I just clacked around everywhere there for a second. If so, I don't think that one was as bad as some of the others. But regardless, this says, oh yeah, I was right. It says Dark Leonardo served as the Shredder's enforcer during the citywide takeover of organized crime. Under direction from Kitsune, Shredder commanded Leonardo not to take the lives of any of his opponents, perhaps knowing that this would be enough to shake him from the witch's control. I thought I remembered something about this. And I wonder if this is after the Shredder comes back and starts kind of working with the Turtles. And if so, then that explains why I only kind of know about this, but haven't had a chance to read it yet, because that's after the point. I was coming up on that point, actually, where the Shredder was about to get involved and things like that. This guy is right here. We have our standard BST problems, our standard loyal subject problems. One, the arms. This happens with these figures, and I don't know why. It doesn't seem to cause any problems, but we get these gaps with these figures. They seem like they do real good, and then they don't. As you can see, that just happened. There, it's fixed. So that's not like a thing. It's not broken, but it is a bit of a problem. Otherwise, we have decent enough movement. That needs to be loosened out a bit. Like I said, that's giving me troubles right there because of the way that it is. We have the same kind of thing here that we have with the other loyal subject toys, where we have decent movement and everything, but we have these like open gaps when you move. You kind of open this up. It doesn't hurt as bad on this guy because he has the knees and everything, but on other characters, that can really be a problem because it's just like a gash here when you like move the legs and stuff like that. He has this really cool Wolverine-esque spike here. He's got the pauldron on with the Foot Clan emblem, which is pretty cool. He's got these small daggers. These do not come off. They're just like a cool decoration, but they are neat. And then we have these right here, so he can hold the swords, which actually mine is going to need re-glued. See, one of my straps is actually out, so I'm going to need to re-glue that strap before I get to use him or anything like that. He's carrying smoke bombs. There's a lot of detail on this guy and everything. He comes with the extra bandanas, like for the back, so you plug him into the back here. He's got one for each of his heads, and then, of course, they move and everything. He's got the stern look that he starts with, and then he gets this yelling, angry face, which is pretty cool. He does come with both his standard katanas, and they do come with the sheaths. And the way that these are supposed to work is that they'll slip into these right here. And then he'll have one there and one there. But I can't do that right now because I'm going to have to fix mine. Minor problem. I don't foresee any problem with fixing that. I don't see that I'll have any problems at all. He has the smaller claws right here with different kinds of grips for each one of these hands. And then he has, without the claws, right here, a punching fist, which is just the little metal part, and a grabbing hand type of thing, or opposing hand, an accentuation hand type of thing. And then here, the other one is a gripping hand also. This is specifically, I imagine, for the katana. And then this one, This is his other weapon, so he has a closed fist here. The range of motion and everything on this is really good. The only thing that really sucks about him is that I'm going to have to fix his arm, and that can be a bit of a pain. And I'm also going to have to figure out his just his arm, really. That was the only problem, like, because his butterfly and everything seems to be working. So I didn't get too bad of a deal here. The Loyal Subject toys, they have had me on a hit and miss since they came out. Sometimes they work, and they work very well, and when they work, I like them a lot. Other times, there's just way too much and way too much ambition that goes wrong. You could argue this is one of those times. Like, these are easy to break. Mine came out of the box broken. It will be an easy glue back in place. I'm not saying this is any kind of a deal breaker, but the fact that I have to do that is a problem. We saw when I opened the shredder, his legs fell off. You saw when I opened this, he has this one joint right here, which is pretty loose and pretty easy to pop out. I don't think that should be a thing. That should be tighter than it is. Like, that should drop down a little more. It should have a little more in terms of this part. Like, that should be carved up. That should be a little bit thicker, if you want the truth of it, in my opinion. And yeah, see, that's like, that feels almost locked. So I'm going to have to heat them up and move them around, and then I'm going to have to pop that back into place and kind of work with it. And maybe I might even have to add a little bit to that joint in there to get that pop to be a little thicker. So I might pop this out, and what I might do is I might take a type of glue or something of that nature and kind of put it in there, or maybe some tack, maybe the littlest bit of tack to just thicken up that part in there so that when I push this on, there's something holding inside of there that gives it a little more pressure, holds it in place. So I'm not saying I can't fix this, and I'm not saying it's not cool. I'm saying that Loyal Subjects, this is not an uncommon thing in my experience so far. In the time that I've been buying Loyal Subjects, which is not much, so just so you know, right off the bat, you know that I'm not talking from like grandeur of experience. I have bought a shredder from them. I had problems. I bought Jenica from them. I'm not a fan of the way they did her knees, but the rest of it works for me. And I bought the 4-pack turtles from them, specifically the ones that are in black and white, and those were nearly perfect. I cannot think of an issue at any point in time where they have given me problems. I pose them. They're very cool. They're on the shelf back there. And, Raphael. Raphael has that thing where he can hold the sai in between his fingers. That is really tough to do. To the point where, like, I felt like I was going to break him. I had to go in and superheat him with the hairdryer to loosen those fingers up because he would not cooperate. Those hands are bad. Otherwise, fine. And now we have him, and he has this arm problem, and one of his bands is broken. So my experience with Loyal Subjects tells me that while I think they're cool, I don't think I'm going to go any further into the line because they're the flip of a coin. They're going to have to either release something really crazy. Oh, I also got a wave of foot soldiers from them, and they were all fine. But yeah, because of that, I think I'm going to be very cautious about diving even further into the line. But luckily, when it comes to Loyal Subjects, my turtle rule is done. My turtle rule specifically says that if I buy into a Ninja Turtles line, I buy the 4 turtles first. Then I go from there and I buy extras. In terms of loyal subjects, I made a promise to myself. There are 5 turtles before you stop and then expand into other things that you're interested in. I usually get the 4 turtles and Shredder or Splinter. Splinter is a toss-up, and sometimes an April. That's kind of my base, and until I have that, I don't go further into the line to save myself from like getting stupid and spending a whole bunch of money. With loyal subjects, I've had enough issues with them, none of them absolute destruction, none to the point where like I would be like, never trust them, but enough of the issues that have made me say, I've got what I want. I don't know how many more times I'm willing to take a risk.
I have spoken. Take what you will from it.